Why every state has a different secret slang, a linguistic road trip across America. Hey there, fellow word wanderers. Imagine this, you're cruising down a dusty highway in the heart of Texas, the sun dipping low like a cowboy tipping his hat. You pull into a roadside diner, order a cold drink, and the waitress asks, "Yeah, I'll want a Coke." You nod, expecting that classic cola fizz. But nope, she brings you a Dr. Pepper. Confused? Welcome to the wild world of American slang, where one word can mean a dozen things depending on which state line you've crossed. Today, we're embarking on an epic voice-over adventure, why every state has a different secret slang. Buckle up, because this isn't just a chat, it's a story of immigrants, frontiers, feuds, and funky phrases that make America the ultimate linguistic melting pot. We'll travel from coast to coast, uncovering the hidden histories behind these quirky codes, and by the end, you'll see why slang isn't just talk, it's the soul of a place. Our tale begins way back in the 1700s, when America was still a scrappy collection of colonies. Picture tall ships docking in bustling ports like Boston and Charleston, unloading not just tea and spices, but waves of immigrants from England, Scotland, Ireland, and beyond. These folks didn't just bring their trunks, they packed their tongues, twisted with regional dialects from the old world. In the posh circles of British traders, dropping the R sound became a status symbol, like wearing a fancy wig. That's why Bostonians today might tell you to park the car and have it yard, but hop over to the rural south, settled by less fancy Northern English and Scottish folks, and that are stuck around, rolling like a banjo string. This clash of accents set the stage for slang's big bang. Words evolving in isolation, shaped by who settled where. Fast forward to the 1800s, and America's growing pains crank up the slang machine. The country explodes westward. Think gold rushes, wagon trains, and railroads snaking through mountains. Geography becomes slang's silent sculptor. In the isolated hollers of Appalachia, words like holler itself, meaning a shout or a valley, emerge from Scottish roots, twisted by mountain life. Meanwhile, out west in California, Spanish influences from Mexican vaqueros bleed in, buckaroo for cowboy, or vamos morphing into casual farewells. But why the secrets? States were like many kingdoms back then, poor roads, no internet, heck, barely any telegraphs. Communities hunkered down, brewing their own verbal stews. Local pride kicked into, "Why say you all when ya all" rolls off the tongue like sweet tea. It's efficient, friendly, and screams Southern hospitality. Let's hit the road now, starting in the Northeast, where slang is as sharp as a New England winter. Picture yourself in Massachusetts, weaving through Boston's tangled streets. You approach what looks like a traffic circle, but locals call it a rotary. Why? Blame the early 20th century engineers who borrowed from British designs, but twisted it local. And if something's really awesome, it's wicked good, like that lobster roll you're devouring. Wicked as an intensifier traces back to old Puritan days, when wicked meant evil, but flipped to mean extremely in the 1800s, a cheeky rebellion against stuffy norms. Head to Pennsylvania, and groups aren't you guys their yins, short for yuans, courtesy of Scottish-Irish immigrants and Pittsburgh steel mills. It's a badge of blue-collar grit, whispered in smoky bars after shifts. But oh, the confusion when you cross into the Midwest. We're talking flatlands where slang pops like corn in a kettle. In Wisconsin or parts of Massachusetts, that drinking fountain at the park, it's a bubbler. Legend has it, this bubbled up from the Kohler Company in the early 1900s, who patented a bubbling water spout and branded it. Locals latched on, turning a product name into everyday lingo. And that carbonated drink? Forget soda, it's pop here, echoing the sound of opening a bottle in the pre-pull tab era. Why Midwest specific? Blame the isolation of farm life. Words spread slow, sticking to regions like syrup on pancakes. Venture to Minnesota, and you'll hear hot dish, not casserole. This one's a Depression-era survivor, cheap, hearty mixes baked in one dish, named for the hot serving style at church potlucks. It's more than food, it's community slang, evoking snowy winters and neighborly bonds. Now, let's swerve south, where slang drawls like a lazy river. In Louisiana, You're not just shopping at your Mackin groceries. This gem sneaks in from French Creole influences post-Louisiana Purchase, where Fairlake courses morphed into grocery-specific lingo. It's a nod to Cajun culture, blending French, African, and Native American vibes. Head to Texas, and everything's bigger, including the phrases, "fixin' to" means about to do something, like I'm fixin' to head out. Roots, Southern English from the 1700s, but Texas amps it with cowboy flair. And y'all, it's the ultimate group hug, born from you all but shortened for efficiency and humid heat. But secrets abound. In Georgia, a buggy isn't a baby carriage, it's a shopping cart, echoing old horse-drawn days. These words aren't random, they're fossils of historia, slavery, plantations, and Reconstruction shaped a resilient, rhythmic dialect that outsiders might miss. Crossing the Mississippi into the West, slang gets rugged, like a prospector's beard. In Colorado, 14er isn't a tina, it's a mountain over 14,000 feet. Climber slang from the Rocky Rush. While unique, the West's boom and bust cycles gold, oil, Teca forge fresh words. California, surf culture birthed gnarly for awesome or dangerous waves. Now slang for anything intense. But dig deeper, hella for very exploded in the Bay Area's hip-hop scene in the 80s, a hyperbolic twist on hella vey. And in Hawaii, our island outlier, da kind is the ultimate wild card, meaning the thing you can't name. From Pidgin English blending Hawaiian, Portuguese, and Japanese immigrant tongues. It's secretive by design. Use it in front of parents to dodge sangweed or whatever. Hawaii's isolation amplified this mix, creating a slang shield for locals. Don't forget the outliers that baffle everyone. In South Dakota, a tavern might mean a sloppy Joe sandwich, not a bar traced to old German settlers naming loose meat buns after taverns where they were served. Or Kentucky's dirty bird for KFC, a playful jab at the Colonel's secret recipe. Maine, for yes, a nasal affirmation from lobstermen, evoking foggy coasts. These aren't just words, they're survival tools. In Arkansas, cattywampus means askew, from Old Scots cater cornered, preserved in rural pockets. Why persist? States guard their slang like family recipes, its identity in a homogenized world. So, why does every state hoard its secret slang? It's evolution. Baby Darwin for dialects. Immigration waves crash in. Italians in New York coin gabagool for capicola. Germans in Pennsylvania birth dog variations. Geography isolates. Mountains trapwords in Tennessee. Deserts dry them in Arizona. History haunts. Civil War divides North-South lingo, like Yankee versus Rebel echoes. Culture cooks it. Music in Nashville spawns honky-tonk. Tech in Silicon Valley births ghosting. And local pride? It's the glue. In a nation of 330 million, slang says, this is USA quirky, unbreakable. As our road trip winds down, imagine pulling into a neon-lit Vegas diner at midnight. You order pop but get soda. Laughter ensues. Bonds form. That's slang's magic. It divides, but unites through stories. America's not one voice, it's a chorus of secrets, each state whispering its tale. So next time you hear rope, smiley, it's a portal to place. Thanks for riding along. Hit like if you're hella hooked. Subscribe for more linguistic lore. What's your state's secret slang? Drop it below. Let's keep the conversation poppin'.